Hi, this is Christy Turner with DementiaSherpa.com. I am your Dementia Sherpa guiding you through rough terrain. And, sometimes it gets really lonely when you are a care partner of somebody who's living with dementia. And it can be so isolating and it just feels like you're all alone. And sometimes it's hard to remember that lots of people have walked this path before you, and you will get through this. I promise. It'll actually happen. But how much you struggle is up to you. Hi, April. Thanks for coming in. So I just want to let anybody out there right now who's feeling really alone and like you're in it all by yourself, remember that you're not. I'm always just right on the other side of the screen, whether you're looking on your phone or your iPad or your computer. There's help available, and you can always reach out to me and get your questions answered, or just Hi, Rachel. Thanks for coming in. Hi, St. Trey. Just knowing that you're not alone a lot of times really helps, because it just feels like the whole world starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're all alone because it's such a difficult job. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. So, if you are caring for someone living with dementia, put a 1 in the chat stream. I don't think anybody who's here right now watching live is caring for anyone who's living with dementia, but if you have any questions, I'm always happy to answer those. The main thing is just to know that you're not alone. And if you're watching this on a replay, please hear me. Again, I've been through this over 1,000 times professionally, and I've been through it in my own family 5 times. I've watched my parents take care of my grandparents. I know it's so hard, but truly, how much you struggle really is up to you. Back in the day when my parents were taking care of my first grandma, who developed Alzheimer's, and she had it for almost 19 years, way back then, there wasn't even an internet. So, it was practically the Stone Age. It was really difficult to get help and support, and not like it is now where it might be 11 p.m., but you can get on the internet and you can find some support, or you can find some tips. So it wasn't like that. And now, blessedly, people don't have to go through that anymore. So you will get through this. You don't have to struggle. I don't want you to struggle. I've worked with over 1,045 people living with dementia and their family members. I'm happy to help you too. I love for you to ask me questions, see how I can best support you, what I can do for you to make life better for your loved one, but for you too, right? Because you're in this together. That's why we say care partner instead of caregiver, because rather than given and taken, you're in it together. So if there are any questions I can answer for anyone right now, well, thank you so much, April. I appreciate that. And if you're not following April for dog tips, you must be following April for dog tips. You get great dog tips every single day. She reminds you to love your pets, and they'll love you for it. I think we all know dogs are the superior pet though, right, April? So if you want dementia tips, follow me. I am on pretty much every single social media platform out there except for Snapchat, which I say is for the kids, and I'm no kid. So you can follow me on Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook or Twitter or, hey, Periscope. Whatever floats your boat. You can watch replays here on Periscope or on YouTube. I have some additional video trainings on YouTube also. So just know you're not alone. You're never alone. You don't have to struggle. This disease process is difficult enough on its own. It doesn't need to be any harder. Reach out, ask for help, ask for support, and I promise I'll be here for you. Wow, my screen went blank. Boom, there we go. So just remember, know that lots and lots of people have walked this path before you. You will get through this. How much you struggle, though, is up to you. Yes, absolutely. Ask for help. And when I say you will get through this, I am being pretty optimistic there because, in case you didn't already know, 4 out of 10 care partners die before the person they're taking care of because care partners are so bad at taking care of themselves. So don't let that be you, right? Put yourself on the list. Put yourself at the top of the list. Self-care is super important. If you do that, then I promise you will get through this. Rachel says, my aunt and grandmother both passed before my grandfather. Did your grandfather have dementia, Rachel? Is that what you're saying? That's really tough. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm so sorry you had to go through that, Rachel. That's really hard. Yeah, I had grandparents. Actually, at one point in my family, my mom was taking care of my grandmother who was in stage Alzheimer's. And then I had a grandpa on the other side of the family who died. And my mom was so wrapped up in taking care of my grandma and was so convinced that she was the only one who could do it right that blessedly I was running a memory care at the time. So I got one of my nurses who was off duty to come take care of my grandmother while we went to my grandfather's funeral. It was just such a mess. My mom was so run down. It was really tough. And then my grandma ended up dying 2 weeks later. I think unless people have kind of been in this situation, they don't really appreciate how difficult it is. And so I know you know, Rachel, because you saw it up close. It's tough. It's tough. And that's why I'm saying to anybody who may be watching on the replay, please know you are not alone. I understand. I feel for you. And I'm always, always, always rooting for you. So anything I can do to make life better, I am absolutely happy to share some ideas with you or to listen if you just need to vent and spleen, because sometimes that happens too, right? So that's your tip here today, is know that lots of people have gone through this before you. You will get through it, but how much you struggle is up to you. Thank you, Rachel and April, for coming in. I so appreciate you coming in and watching live. Have a great day, ladies, and to any replay viewers. Bye now. Never can figure out how to turn the darn thing off. Stop. I'm still broadcasting because the stop broadcast button isn't working.